how do you get back that inspiration to draw again? So in my last video, I spoke briefly about having your personal sketchbook, and this is something I'm clearly believe in, since this is going to be the topic of this video as well. I believe that having your own sketchbook and is sort of, it helps a lot with your development. Too many people nowadays just go straight to digital and forget about, you know, the good old days of learning traditional, and pretty much just like being on that grind set of life drawing, which, you know, can be very boring sometimes. I'll agree. But I really want to double down on how important that is for the person. The topics I want to cover in this video are mostly about how to make yourself accountable to draw every day, which is something that's really hard to do, especially nowadays with the dawn of AI. You know, it's just a bit all over the place. Like, people say, oh, it's gonna be good, people say it's gonna be bad. Like, it's, you know, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, like, some good comes of it, some bad comes of it as well. And I think that a lot of people are afraid, you know, obviously, of getting their jobs stolen, which is a real issue. I mean, it's gonna happen to, you know, normal jobs like McDonald's, so why wouldn't it happen to, you know, replacing jobs getting replaced by machines? Why could not happen to an artist when AI, another type of robot, can just do the same thing? So clearly, you know, I see a lot of people complaining about the fact that, you know, they've lost a bit of their inspiration to keep drawing, which again, I've experienced myself as well. I'm with you on that. Eventually, it's all gonna pay off, and the value of an artist is still gonna be relevant, even if there's a tool like AI. I don't want to get into the whole AI discourse, but I'll leave that for another video maybe. But generally speaking, what I wanted to talk about exactly is how to get back into getting inspiration to draw, and holding yourself accountable to just keep that grind set on and just keep drawing every day. So I have a few ideas that I can give you guys to just sort of start, which is stuff that really helped me out a lot when I found that I was in a bit of a rut or couldn't really do anything, couldn't draw, or like I felt like I didn't really want to. This was, you know, it happened to me multiple times, obviously, but I'm not the one to hide it. So, you know, I definitely know the people who are struggling, and it doesn't mean you're bad. Like, there's I know there's a lot of people that like think that the masters just like draw every day like 24/7, but like even they have a family to provide to, and they probably don't. I mean, they must have, you know, drawn a lot beforehand, obviously. Like, it's, but at the end of the day, like, there's other stuff during the day that gets into your life. After this like huge intro, I want to just get into it. The obvious first I guess tip I guess this is what we're going on in terms of style of video, but so definitely have the sketchbook. Like I said in my previous video, going out and like actually buying a new sketchbook, I think is a great opportunity to just, first of all, get out of the house, touch some grass, but the other thing too is the whole process gets into your mind, and just sort of like you're getting ready to sort of get back into it with something exciting as getting a new thing, you know, your new toy or whatever. So I think that will definitely help. Having a daily routine, I feel like this is a bit generic, but I'm gonna get into more like actual content, I swear. But having a daily routine definitely helps. Like, for example, oh, you know, I wake up, I do like 1 hour of sketching, or you know, before breakfast or while I'm having breakfast, like instead of watching you know, your daily Asmongold clips, having you know, your sketchbook on the side to just sort of sketching about. It's always great. You know, it's famous to, people call it the napkin sketchers, you know, like it's the usual, oh, you know, just a sketch, you know, the pro just goes in there and just has this like napkin sketch posted on Instagram. It's like this huge picture. You're like, what the fuck? Like, that's not a napkin sketch, that's a full-on drawing. But I think a good way and something that really helped me with actually delivering on every day, making art and content, is having like an Instagram account. Now I'm gonna get into it, it's gonna make sense. So what I suggest you do is just sort of make a new Instagram account and just have it on the side like that. Make it like a small project for yourself, and you don't have to tell anyone. I think that this again goes back to what I was saying about the sketchbook in my previous video, to sort of again quote myself, which is like, you don't have to share drawings and things that you do to other people. Sometimes we get a lot of, I personally do get a lot of stress about when I know I'll have to show, you know, maybe I'm drawing something and someone's looking over. I just get a bit stressed because I'm like, oh, you know, what are they gonna think about what I'm doing? It's just like, it just gets into your head, you know. So it distracts me a little bit. So I think that having that privacy of just like knowing that none of your like friends or family or people that you know that you don't know are gonna see, and you're starting from scratch. So also pro tip, don't make, you know, your main account follow that one, because then people will obviously know. If you have 10 if you have 10 followers and then you just follow yourself and all the people that it gets suggestions to is your friends, so it's like, you know, there's no point. So having an alternate sort of Instagram account, I feel like really helps with holding yourself accountable. And what I mean by that is that you know, in your main account with Instagram or like any social media, you can do, I think you can do this with anything, is the fact that when you post something, there's an expectation, and people kind of want to see like, oh, what have you improved upon, or what's this new drawing that you did, you know, and that sort of gets into your head, along with all the sort of you know, intrusive thoughts that get in the way, you know, all the things that that we think about daily, like, oh, you know, are people gonna like this one, like, is it gonna get more people, new people that like it or not, you know, like following these algorithms, I don't think it's always like healthy. So I think getting away from it and just like having the mindset of like, yeah, I just want to post that because I want to, and not having it on your main account is great, because then you don't have to think about the people's expectation. This is just something that you're just gonna throw out and not think about. So the whole idea is based upon the fact that you want to just try and make posts for that alternate account instead of going on your main. So I would like put that aside for a bit, and if you can't, like I suggest obviously dedicating as much time as you can to your first for your main, and then dedicating extra time to your side project, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. And you're creating this effect where you're sort of accountable for posting every day. I don't necessarily know how exactly it happens, but maybe it's because, you know, you don't have, you kind of like in this new path. It's kind of like when in an MMO you create a new character, you're like, oh, like I already know what the path is, sort of, at least at the beginning, but like, you know, oh, maybe I never got to end game because I was just trying this like new class. And so what ends up happening is you're exploring the unknown, and that's kind of exciting. I feel like for me that's what it was, right? So, and that also creates an effect where, because it's exciting, you kind of like wake up wanting to do it again and again and again. That helped me boost my drawing skills a lot, and it definitely helped with confidence, because at that point I was just starting out and it wasn't a huge, you know, I wasn't huge on Instagram. I'm still not, obviously, but I didn't have, like, I had 100 followers or whatever, and it kind of boosted me up to like 300. And that for me was like, whoa, like crazy. I was like, you know, kind of excited about it. So it just kind of kept me going. So it helped me boost my art level to like, you know, further heights, which is great. another thing that I want to add to that is obviously do not care about how many followers you get or like where do you get in terms of your development. I think that like every new person that you don't know that follows you, I think it's a great achievement, because it means that someone that, you know, doesn't have any bias, or like, you know, they're not invested necessarily into what you're doing, means that it's interested in what you're doing externally of who you are. They just like genuinely what you're doing, because, you know, friends and family, like, they obviously love your art, but, you know, if sometimes they support you even though they don't really understand what you're doing. So I know I've had like plenty of instances like that. So it's just like, you know, they support because they want to support, but they don't necessarily understand what I'm doing. It's just like, oh, he's drawing my nephew's drawing pretty girls, which is great. So yeah, having said that, it's not, I know it's not a lot, but for me, it was a quick way to sort of get back into the habit of making like daily posts and drawing daily and having a routine. Back when I was in college, I would basically have to wake up like super early because I was like an hour away from college. So I was staying at a friend's house at the time, and his dad, bless him, would wake up at 4 in the morning. He had to go to work, right? But he'd still take us to school, and we'd get to the college like very, very early on. So me and my friend would just like start drawing early in the morning before like even everyone came in. So we just had this like an hour and a half to just sort of mess around and draw. And that's what I would do. I would just dedicate that 1 hour to sort of making a drawing, and posting it, and literally just like, you know, it would just happen. Like, it was, at that point, it just got to a routine after a few days. So taking advantages of chances like that to improve, I think it's great. And if you manage to do something like that and get along with the process, I think you're gonna do great. Now again, you might not necessarily get a lot of followers. Like, I don't have many myself, so it's not like this is coming from like a master or like up high. But personally in my art career, I can say that really helped me boost my art skills a lot more, for sure. So again, we're not doing this for clout. It's just for improving upon your art skills again. Which is kind of what I want to do and focus on this channel anyway. So yeah, I hope you anyone who's watching enjoyed the little tips that I gave out. I don't have a big community, so you know, if you want to interact, that's great. Check my online shop and my Patreon that I'm still setting up. So you know, if anyone is interested, all the links to my profiles are in the description. And you know, if you want to just leave a follow or whatever, anywhere, if you want to be part of the crew, that's gonna be awesome. So thank you so much, and see you soon. Ciao ciao.